I just need to remind y'all again, everyone who is ginger, who has red hair, those are black people. All gingers are black people. If they have red hair, they are black. You see a white man with red hair, that's a black man. You see a white woman with red hair, that's a black woman. Gingers are black. All gingers.
What up, y'all? It's your boy M-phamis, but you call me MP Boy. Welcome and welcome back. Alright, guys. I've been wanting to, say something about this trend for, a couple of, days now. The clip you just seen, that was a black sister who pretty much said that all gingers are black. And ever since that, video came out and went viral, a lot of redheaded white people, are, super overjoyed that they're accepted in the black community. And there's been, a bunch of, videos kind of, proving that gingers are black. And there are some black folks in the black community on TikTok pretty much saying that's not really the case, and some are really embracing the whole thing. This is my first reaction video that I actually did on this channel, man. I'll definitely give my own 2 cents and my own personal opinion as a black American myself. I'm gonna give my own personal opinions about this later. But for right now, like, share, and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on DeviantArt. The links to everything is down below. And guys, if you guys want to get my videos early and get special perks, head over to my Patreon page. The links to everything is down below. Now that that's out of the way, roll the clips.
For all my fellow gingers who are just as excited and appreciative as I am to be accepted into this beautiful community, I have just one quick thing to tell you. Come here. I swear to God, if you fuck this up for us, I will beat your ass. We are coming in with nothing but respect and appreciation, the same way they are respecting and appreciating us. Y'all fuck this up, I swear to God. You're okay. You're okay. Pull yourself together. I love you.
I am loving this gingers are black thing that's going on right now. And it's just good to be, accepted, embraced, and finally witnessed and seen after just millennia of absolute chastising and separation from what feels like everybody in some way or another. We were burned at the stake. We were considered witches and wizards and aliens, and we got some funky DNA mutations as well, which is kind of fun. We can handle a lot of heat. We can handle a lot of pain. We went from ridicule to radical. We went from being made fun of every day to being fetishized heavily. But I'm here with you. I'm just your ginger from another mister. I don't know what the saying would be, but yeah, we can be friends now. Holla at your ginger.
Y'all, this is crazy. I found my people. In 2 days, I think I posted 3 videos. 175 people has followed this account already. All of our like-minded and light-colored skin, dark-colored skin family. I'm going right now. Everybody that followed me, I'm following you back.
Has anyone ever noticed that the token white girlfriend in all of our favorite childhood black sitcoms is usually always a redhead? Okay, a lot of you recommended that I stretch before making this reach, but I promise you this is really a thing, and I hope to convince you of that in this video. All right, so boom. Our redhead friend has been around. Zoe from the Proud Family, Chelsea from Not So Raven, Monique, and Kim Possible. A lot of y'all didn't know Kim Possible's best friend was black. It's because she a redhead. I'm trying to tell y'all the tea. Cece from Shake It Up. I know y'all watch Shake It Up with Zendaya. Her and Cece was locked in like this the whole time. She's even been making appearances as a best friend to Latinx women as well. I know y'all remember Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place. And I know those are outdated references, so she's been around in some new series as well. Do y'all watch The Queen's Gambit? Elizabeth Harmon and Jolie from The Queen's Gambit. Best friends. I'm trying to tell y'all. She was even in Fate, the Winx Saga. There was black girl and redhead best friends. Outside of the red-haired best friend, have you also noticed that when a black actress is recast in a role that was played originally by a white woman, that white woman was usually always a redhead? We've seen it with Iris West, Mary Jane, Annie, and now The Little Mermaid. insane. Y'all are trying to act like I'm crazy, but this is the real tea. I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, so here's my theory. Back in Hollywood, redheads were originally typecast as Irish, whether or not they were. And historically, white Irish immigrants were treated terribly in America, just like black people. Well, not just like black people, but you know they were treated bad. And you know who can relate to that? Black people. And most refugees and Irish immigrants were loaded onto minimally converted cargo ships, some of the same ships that were used to transport slaves from Africa. They were herded like cattle, treated terribly. And you know who can relate to that? Us. Back in the day, redheads and Irish people were the only people that would even interact with black people on a human level because there was a lot of understanding between what the other was going through. And so no, I'm not saying both of their plights were the same, but they could relate to each other, and in Hollywood, they were both disrespected. So in cinema, black girls and redheads, which again were usually typecast as Irish, really got along, and that's why in cinema they were best friends, because in real life, a lot of them were actually very close. Think about when you were growing up. Think about the girl in your friend group. The redheads used to be around. They were around. And Hollywood was originally very averse to casting redheads in leading roles. And so if they were that averse to casting redheads in leading roles, it makes sense why they would replace these ones, which they were already skeptical about, with black women. Make the Notebook black. Make the Notebook black. Hashtag just make the Notebook black. Okay, so comment down below whether you think this theory is valid or if you think I'm actually insane. What are they called? Redheads. That's a slur.
It all makes sense. Oh my gosh, it all makes sense. Now you can't tell me that's not a black man right there, man. Growing up, I always used to watch Bob Ross paint, and I was like, he got some flavor to him, man. He just a soul brother from another mother. You can't tell me that's not. He got a nice fro, got the salt pepper beater, got the gold chain with the button up, man. That's flavor right there. He could be my daddy. Look.
Let's not take this into the next week. If you have alabaster skin and red hair, identify as a ginger, let me be clear, you are not black. You never were. You never will be. Okay? I get the excitement because like a lot of our ancestors from the Caucasus Mountains, they want the rhythm, never the blues. So stay in your lane, be clear, you are not black, and you're not invited to the cookout. In fact, the person who extended that invitation returned to sender because she's banned from the cookout. I'm seeing all your videos, dancing and cosplaying blackness. Like, I was gonna say I can't blame you because she opened the door for it, but I can blame you because you should know better. And we're not gonna pretend that you don't. So, if you want to be in community, sure, do the work to deconstruct. Don't serve as obstructionist. Tell the truth, even when it's difficult and there's blowback on you. Do that work, and it's cool. Like, it doesn't take a lot. Like, you know, y'all, and not just you, gingers, but y'all get so uncomfortable around blackness. You just don't know what to do. You want to be with us and be like us, but you only want the joy that comes with being around us. That's not how authentic relationships are built. So you had fun. It's a couple days with it. It's over. Okay? Okay.
Proof that woman should have never said a goddamn thing, because I posted a video a couple hours ago and I was like, hey guys, like, being bullied like is not the same thing as like deep systemic oppression in this country. Okay, it's not. And my comment section is literally like, actually, did you know the Irish? First of all, I understand. Hello, I understand. If you're new to this page, okay, Irish American, I talk about it all the time. Okay, I talk about all the time how it's important that we stand up for other marginalized groups because we had a mass, because we were used as second-class citizens at one point in time. Irish Americans in this country going through a type of oppression, okay? That was a period of time, and I talk about it frequently on here, and it's why I think that Irish Americans specifically should be anti-fascist, because when the Aryan race comes about, you're not included. But of the same breath, okay, it's not the oppression Olympics. It's not the oppression Olympics. When you get pulled over by a police officer as a redhead, have you ever once feared for your life? I haven't. I never have. I'm nervous because I was speeding. because I was breaking Lele. But I have never, ever, ever once feared for my life. I have never feared for my life because of the color of my hair. Ever. I've feared for my life for being a woman. I have never wondered if I am going to be in a bad situation, if I am potentially in a life-threatening situation just existing because of my hair color. So I get it. Many populations of people have been oppressed over time, okay? But this is 2025. And as far as y'all are concerned, Mark and the Funky Bunch here, since the time you've been alive, it has not happened in this country. So shut the fuck up.
Alright, that's it. I just gotta say something. And guys, whatever I say, this is just my personal opinion and my personal perspective on this. And keep in mind, I'm in my 20s, guys. Like, your boy's mindset might change, or my views and perspective on this might change as I get older. Again, this is just my personal opinion and perspective. I can see the reason, like, why some redheaded white folks, like, probably, like, really did enjoy this. Because, like, from what I've known and what has been known throughout history in Europe, though, people with red hair have been, like, persecuted and have been associated with, like, you know, demons, witchcraft, and, like, rumors that they were cursed or something, and how they used to get burned at the stake. There's this YouTube channel called The Take, and they actually did, like, a video on the whole, like, red hair prejudice, or how, like, redheads have been viewed in the media. I highly recommend you guys, like, check out the video and subscribe. You know what's the scary and the spooky part about, like, the whole gingers are black thing? If you rearrange the word ginger around a little bit, you end up with the N-word. And that's, like, the most weirdest coincidence that I've ever, like, noticed, though. And know that, I'm starting to see a pattern, though. In the fourth TikTok, where she kind of, like, mentions and kind of, like, points out, like, whenever, like, they race swap a character, they often race swap them like a redheaded character. I did not pay attention to it like until like I started to notice that there was a little pattern, like Jimmy Olsen from Supergirl. Jimmy Olsen, in case you guys don't know, he's Superman's best pal, and from the comics until like now, or at least until the Supergirl like TV show and the new Superman cartoon, like, Jimmy has always been portrayed as, like, a red-haired character. But then they switch him to a black dude, which makes no sense, though. Same thing with Iris West and Kid Flash in, like, the CW Flash show. In the comics, like, almost every single, like, depiction of Kid Flash, like, from, like, at least, I don't know, every single iteration of, like, Kid Flash in any cartoon period, he's always depicted with red hair most of the time. In the comics as well. But then that started to change with like the new 52, I think, and like they have like Wallace West, and which kind of is like the inspiration for like CW version. And also like same thing with Annie too. Like Annie was originally like a red-haired orphan girl from the 80s movie. Often people with red hair like are always assumed to be Irish because Ireland is well known for its population of redheads. It's like it has like the most highest population. Well, not just the Irish, but the Scottish as well. Like they've been well known for the fact that they have like a high population of redheads. And in case you guys don't remember like a little bit of American history, the Irish were pretty much brought here like in this country during the early days of colonization. Like, you know, like how they were in the fields with slaves during that time. But here's the thing though. The thing was with the Irish is that the Irish were indentured servants. Meaning they were like brought there and their enslavement or their, I guess, servitude was a temporary thing. While a black person or at least an enslaved person during that time, it was like for life. There was no way out of it. There's no nothing that they could do to get out of it. And over time, like the Irish have been is able to assimilate into whiteness. I mean, it's hard for most people to believe that the Irish were once considered not white at one point. Because keep in mind, in this country in particular, the whiteness criteria was very narrow back then in comparison to now. Because, I mean, again, the Irish and they're also the Italians. The Italians were treated way worse than anyone. And it was once believed that the Italians were the worst group of people that ever exist. Way worse than black people, and that was hard for me to believe. I honestly did broke out laughing, honestly. Because to us in this day and age, Italians, the Irish, they're considered white now. Also though, I kind of somewhat agree on why some black folks are saying that gingers are not black and it's just a silly joke. I mean, the way that racial tensions are pretty much going up in this country because a lot of things have happened recently. I mean, I thought we kind of stopped with the whole cookout invitations. I thought we stopped giving out cookout invitations because a lot of things, ever since the election, everybody in the black community pretty much said, hey, look, we're gonna do West right now. Leave us out of this. Whatever thing that's going on between any other racial group or whatever, like, political thing. And we're trying to gatekeep our culture. We're trying to, like, keep, like, our culture very protected at this point. Because not only racial tensions are high, a lot of, like, cultural stuff is going on. And all that, bro. I mean, throughout time and time again in African American history, we know that, like, if we don't, like, gatekeep our culture for real, we're gonna lose, like, some of those aspects of, like, the culture that we created. Like, for example, like, rock and roll music. Look up the first rock and roll star that ever existed. I promise you, it ain't no Elvis Presley. Okay, in the last TikTok, there was like the redhead lady. She does make a good amount of sense. Just because a redhead white person, like, experience, like, discomfort or, like, some sort of, like, I guess prejudice for having red hair or anything like that, it's not anywhere near the same as, like, the same systemic oppression that black people have been facing for 400 years in this country. And not only that, like, let's be honest, we live in the age where anyone can just dye their hair. Like, any redhead white person who's being bullied for having red hair, they can always, like, change the color of their hair wherever they want. While a black person, on the other hand, someone like myself, I could never change the color of my skin whenever I feel like it. Okay, if you're a redhead watching this video, possibly like watching this video right now, ask yourself this question. Whenever the cops show up, or whenever like you call the police, do you feel like you're about to die almost every time you see one or anytime the police comes near you? You feel like, have you ever felt like you were about to die? Never. Never in your life you'll never, like, experience or have that kind of feeling. A good thing about, like, the whole gingers are black trend, it kind of does expose, like, the hypocrisy about race. And it also pointed out the fact that not every white person in this country is, like, treated exactly the same. Even though they're considered white, there's like levels to whiteness. And I guess it kind of does create like a little more empathy between the red velvets, the redhead white people that have been like, saying that gingers are black, and the black community as well. There've been like a bunch of like videos like made on this, and like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the videos were pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. I did laugh a little bit. It's a fun little trend though, it really is. I'm just saying, like, even they made like a little anthem. I mean, I can't play. Wait, I don't know if I can play it on here, but I don't want to take no chance of my video possibly getting like copyrighted and stuff. In the first couple of days, when I found out about the whole gingers are black, TikTok trend, then I came up with this question: how would red velvets, redheaded ginger white people, be considered like black American, or at least like some form of like black adjacent? How would that even work exactly? Like, how would that even work? To my black brothers and sisters that's probably watching this video right now, again, guys, this is just my own personal opinion. Number one, gingers had to be classified as something like the outside of whiteness, meaning like, what was it, under the whole white category or something? They have to like create like a separate category for them, or place them underneath like the black or African American category in the census. Because in order for like, again, like that to actually work, the rules of race or like how race works in this country, it gotta change though. Also, you would need to like psychologically or socially condition like the majority of the population. Anyone that is white, that is naturally born ginger or red hair or red velvet, whatever you want to use, you have to like, what was it, again, psychologically and socially condition everyone to treat them as if they were black American, or I guess an adjacent to that. Number two, obviously they had to be like naturally like born gingers, meaning like you have to have like two redhead parents. You have to be naturally born a redhead, man. Like there's no way in heck we're gonna like accept anyone who just dyed their hair red and that's pretty much it. Nah, it has to be like naturally born gingers. Three, they had to like really understand African American culture, history, like to perfection, man. Like I'm telling you, like if there was like a written test and they took that test, they better make somewhere at least 90 or at least 90 to 98% on that thing. And what I mean by African American history, I mean African American history, not the stuff that is always sugar-coated in schools. We're talking about the stuff that most people are not even familiar with or probably don't remember that much. And just adding a little more to like the whole testing thing, it's not just like, written tests, but like actual tests and trials, man. Number four, I would say they probably would need to like swear by an oath. This would include like never like promise to never dye their hair, always calling out white supremacy, and supporting the black community. In case you're wondering like how old should they be like when they're about to take the oath, I probably would say at least like as young as 18, at least. And the last and final one, number five, I would think that they probably would need a tattoo. I say it should be at least like the African American heritage flag. The reason why I pointed like this out, like why like this should be like the final step, it's a way of showing that they actually did the oath and actually really do stand with the community. And also proof of, well, I guess unity with the black community as well. And that's pretty much it, man. Those are like my honest opinion and my honest requirements on how they can be black in the American context. Alright, in conclusion, the whole gingers are black thing is just a silly little trend, it's just a silly little joke. At the end of the day, redheaded white people, they're still white people at the end of the day. And they still benefit from a racist, patriarchal society. They still benefit from it, regardless. One of the reasons why I even, like, came up with the whole, like, you know, the requirements for the Red Velvets to be officially considered, like, in the black community. I mean, it may be a silly trend now, but you never know if, like, I don't know, that this could like spawn like actual protests that actually ends up on the news and like some sort of legislation happen. And the way that the Trump administration is pretty much moving right now, there's no telling where exactly it's gonna like where this whole trend's gonna lead. And where do I finally stand with this? Well, I say Red Velvets, welcome home, man. We missed y'all. We missed y'all. Alright, your boy gotta go. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Check me on Dude Art. The links to everything is down below. And guys, if you guys like my work and you guys want to get my videos before like it ever hits YouTube, head over to my Patreon page. The links to everything is down below. M3 Bullet, out, out.